We start time, your first word, sir.
The beginning of the stock market, 1929. People in the beginning of the stock market, when it first started, people they would cheat the system and they would get away with it and still make a profit. So it was convenient to be in the stock market back in the days. Well, and now with when it first started with the stock market crash, it was being manipulated by the banks, and by 1933, about 15 million workers were unemployed, and most of the banks were closing or at risk of failings. And these are statistics given by the New York Times in an article of the crash of 1929. So, and this is part of the American history because it was such a tragic moment. It was it was one of the mistakes that we as Americans created when, as a result of the Great Depression. So in 2008, we got another glimpse of another crash, and this is why we need to be aware of this incident. My interest sparked when I was in high school, when my high school teacher, my economy and government teacher, talked about the stock market, and I would stay after school with him and talk to him about it. That's where I got most of my information from. So I'm gonna be bringing some articles, one article from a professional financial planner. So I'm gonna talk first about how the crash happened, the change in America, what changes it did in America, and how safe it is to go in the stock market. So in World War One, we did overproduction, and we were sending a lot of supplies to across seas. So with overproduction, margin buying, and technology advancing, many companies had to lay off their workers, and really an overview of this would be the economy was bad, and it was just horrible for America at that moment. So one thing that we just had to do was just everybody selling their stocks because companies weren't doing well, and we did the stock market. From there, the effects of America, how this affected America was we got a new president, and the president, with the Great Depression happening, he didn't know what to do, so he created the New Deal, and the New Deal kept in check with the banks, so because we need the banks in order for the economy to be stable. And with the New Deals, the banks weren't checked. He made a radio talk to calm people down, and he created more jobs. So like this was a field job for because at that point, since the overproduction of goods for the wars ended, they didn't know what to do with that. So many goods, so they created a job for that. So now with how safe the stock market is, well, with the regulations that FDR created, it took 25 years for the banks to be stable again, and for people to trust in the banks again, because we need money in the economy. And with technology advancing, we implemented it into statistics and stats on the companies, so now they're more accurate and we have less error, a chance of having an error. And this fact was given by an article by Matthew Frankel, who is a certified financial planner. So all in all, I talked about how the stock market happened, how it changed America, and how safe it is to have to be in the stock market. So now, what I want you all to understand from this is that the stock market helps our economy, but can also be dangerous. We must know how to use that power, because the stock market is a great way to help the economy advance in trading across seas, but at the same time can also create a panic attack in the economy. And this is, we don't want history to repeat itself, and it's a picture of what he used to be rich person, now he's in the streets and carrying his kids in the wooden wheel. Thank you.